Good morning, everyone. We are live. Live. All right. Everything's catching up. Good morning, everyone. I hope we're all having a good day. Oh, sorry. So it popped up. And so I'm actually going to start this off. I need a little bit of help from everybody. We're not sure what my daughter is going to the ER right now, and she just had a little boy 2 weeks ago, and they're thinking there might be a blood clot in her lung. She's having a hard time breathing. She's always had asthma. So yeah, if I get some prayers for her, I'll know what's going on shortly. Unfortunately, I need to be here because our heat also went out today. So these are things in life that happen, life on life's terms. And even how we deal with other people on that. See, I knew that the heater would go out. I really need to shave. I'm so far behind on all my little stuff. And I didn't really want to tell my brother-in-law that was going on. I don't like being the bearer of bad news, but sometimes I'm glad it's me because, so a lot of times people have the attitude of, well, I knew what he was going to say. Of course I did. It's really cold today. You don't turn on your heat on a warm day, so. I'm more of a forest for the tree guys. It might just be the motor. So that's what it sounds like. We got a guy that comes over that does phenomenal stuff with our old. So if you need someone and you can't replace your furnace like us, let me know. I'll pass on the information. Right. So instead, what I did with them is I just kind of, I'm sorry that happened today, but whatever I can do to help out, let me know. And at least try and ease some of that crap for him, right? Because I'm gonna be here anyway. He doesn't. I could take care of it for him. I don't have a problem with that. And isn't it nice that we're actually able to be available now? When I was drinking, there's no way. I don't know that I would have been able to pull that up. I don't even know that I would have been up or sober enough to even let somebody in the house. I wasn't very reliable while I was drinking. So, if you are watching, please say hello. Let me know that you're here. Whether you're watching the live video or the rewatch. If you got a topic, would like me to discuss something, please let me know. I will do what I can to put it on. All right. So let's go ahead and get to today's daily reflection. All the other stuff, I went back in the book. You guys know why. The books kind of get repetitive, so I'm going to expand my repertoire and grab a couple other books. So that if you're reading them, we can kind of be on the same page. But it's kind of tough to talk about tradition 5, 3, 4 days in a row, or even 2 days in a row. You got to kind of mix it up. So this is actually from June 11th out of ODAT, which is a Hazelden book. I'm a huge Hazelden fan. Guilt is a cunning weapon in the armory of the addictive person, which continues to lurk patiently inside of each of us. All right. Have you spent a little bit of time in the program and something happened? You reacted. Got to make amends. Do what we need to do. Or maybe we're in a place where you don't feel like you owe amends. Sometimes we can have a pretty bad attitude. My talking juice. We can use the weapon against ourselves in many subtle ways. That's what I was wanting to get to. Right? We guilt ourselves a lot, and we don't need to do it. Right? Um, you know, unreasonable expectations on ourselves or calling ourselves names. Okay? We talked about this in the emotional sobriety group yesterday. Is no, it was in the all recovery meeting the other day, right? And we were talking about at one point I was saying, about 3.5 years ago, I decided I was going to stop calling myself an asshole. Okay? And everybody else did too. It was, why? Because I quit being one. Why was I one? Because I kept calling myself an asshole. I designated myself king of assholism, right? We all do this. I'm not unique in this. We're all president of that, right? At some point in our lives, or at least we feel that way. So we were talking, and then somebody asked me a pretty legitimate question. They're like, "Well, Dion, do you still do it though? Maybe in a different way?" And I found that my go-to was, "Dion, you're an idiot," because that's how I was always treated when I was growing up. That was kind of what I was told. Um, and that was a very good point for me to remember, to stop calling myself an idiot too, or getting on myself so much, or utilize, feeling guilty about things that I don't need to feel guilty about, period. Okay. A great example right now, I would usually feel guilty for not going to the hospital. Okay. But they can only have a certain amount of people there, and I got to be here for this. I'm staying in my lane. It's kind of tough to do because I want to be there for my wife. Okay. But there's people there that'll be able to support her. Sorry, it's gonna, I'm saying I don't feel guilty, but doesn't mean I don't feel bad about what's going on, and I wish I could be there. And yeah, that upsets me a little bit, but that isn't guilt. That's me dealing with my emotions. It can be deftly wielded, for example, in an attempt to convince us that the program really doesn't work. All these people are so full of shit. I heard somebody talking the other day. They said that, I was going to one of my first meetings. It was an early morning meeting, and they were a younger female, and they're like, I walked in, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and speak. And they're like, and it turned out that it was one of the best meetings that they had gone to. We sometimes we have to get over that itty bitty shitty committee in our head. I call it the good duck, and you remember Donald Duck? I forgot to let my cat in. He's probably out there freezing. He's got fur. He'll be all right in a second. Okay, so I call him the evil duck and the good duck, right? And they sit there and they tell you no, blah, blah, blah. And usually, for us, and what we're used to is the good duck winning or the good duck losing, right? And we need to let that good duck start to win. I have to protect myself constantly against guilt and self-accusations concerning my past. All right, here comes my secret. And we have a saying in our family that my mother started. And she'll probably tell you she got it from Joe Wright or somebody like that. Yeah, but it's pretty easy. Screw guilt. Screw it. We don't do it here. Nope, we don't do that. I don't. I certainly do, and you guys probably feel this way too. I don't take guilt trips from other people. I don't accept them. Okay. All right. But what about yourself? What do you accept guilt trips from yourself? You bet your ass you do. You do it all the time. Okay. Until we recognize it, we do it. And it's part of being human. So don't beat up on yourself for not handling your guilt. Okay. Don't get caught in that circle. It's no fun. Okay. I think it was harder for me to stop beating up on myself than anybody else because, I feel like I can handle it, but that is just not true. Okay. And what I'm telling myself isn't true about myself. Okay. Let alone having to, if you are a chronic relapser like me, then you have to deal with the relapsing over and over again. You get sober, they don't believe you. Okay. They'll do things to protect you when they shouldn't be. At one point, I sat down with my wife and my kids, and I'm like, I love you guys so much, but you have got to let me deal with this. You've got to let me have the chance to succeed or fail. Okay. And I want to succeed. If necessary, I must constantly re-forgive myself, accepting myself as a mixture of good as well as bad. Yeah, that's the balance. How do you think I can do my checks and balances? Okay, if I don't have one side for the other side, I don't really have anything to set that standard to or anything. Am I striving for spiritual progress, or will I settle for nothing less than the human impossibility of spiritual perfection? Right? The impossibility of spiritual. The way I see it is, once I am spiritual perfect, it's time for me to go. So I don't want to get there. May I look inside myself now and then for any slow burning leftover guilt which can, when I am unwary, damage my purpose. May I stop kicking myself and pointing out my own imperfections, all those lesser qualities which detract from the ideal and perfect me. May I no longer try to be unreasonably, inhumanely perfect, but just spiritually whole. Today I'll remember I am human, part good, part not so good. Right? So which one am I gonna utilize? Am I gonna utilize the good or the not so good? Um, I didn't do my regular reading out of the book during that, so this is an into action. More than most people, the alcoholic leads a double life. He is very much the actor. To the outer world, his stage character. This is one he likes his fellows to see. He wants to enjoy a certain reputations, but knows in his heart he doesn't deserve it. So we have to earn that reputation, right? We have to put some time in. We got to give ourselves a chance. Yes, I'm wrapping this up because our furnace guy is here. So I will be back tomorrow for daily reflection. I love you guys. Peace out and have a day. Bye.